welcome to the Finding Our Way February Reconnection Call. I'm Robin Peel, and my wonderful colleague Lee is in Nepal, in Kathmandu at the moment. So we have a video from her shortly that I'll be sharing with you. But today on this monthly call, it is just me here, and hopefully Lee and I will both be here to share with you in March. But thank you for joining us today. Thank you for making the time to look after yourself, to make time for yourself, to reconnect yourself. That's kind of the whole purpose of these monthly reconnection calls, is to have a time where you know that you can come back, that you can share with us, that you can share with others. But that if that doesn't work for you on the first Sunday of the month that we run these, then obviously we record them and you can go to our YouTube channel or onto our website, and whenever you need that dose of reconnection, you can get it. So thank you, as I said, for joining us, whether this is live or whether this is recorded. For February, our focus is on taking time to dream. And this is a really important one actually at the moment. A lot of people I've spoken to have found the first month of 2020 to be quite a long one. There's been jokes of like, the 70 days of January or the 150 days of January. And so if that's what it has felt like for you, we wanted this inspiration again to kind of reconnect you, to make you get that spark again, to dream, to make time, to think about what next. So I think I will start actually with that lovely video from Lee that she has shared with us from her time in Kathmandu, and then we'll go into meditation and then a bit of journaling and reflection and connection as well. So hopefully you're comfortable, you've got your cup of tea, you've got your candle, you've got whatever you need to make time for yourself. But I'd also recommend, if you don't have it yet, that maybe you go get some pens and paper and you can make time to answer a few questions that we're going to have as we go through. So as I'm getting the video sorted for Lee, maybe this is a good time to make sure you've got some pens and paper nearby. So let me see if I can get this video up to play.
So welcome everybody. Warm greetings from Nepal, from Kathmandu. We're in the side of a very holy mountain. We've just climbed up about 7,000 steps carved in the rocks on the side of the mountain to come and find this beautiful surprise Buddha cave that we've never visited. So it's been a real pilgrimage. I just wanted to send really warm greetings to everybody. Welcome to listen to our meditation that will follow soon, and hope you have a wonderful session with Robin, and I'm with you in spirit from Nepal. Many blessings, and may you be happy and well.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lee, for sharing that with us. And unfortunately, she had planned to do a meditation to share as well, but wasn't able to send it through. So we'll go into meditation with myself just now. So getting comfortable, whether that's cross-legged, it's the best way I find, but sitting up straight and making sure you've kind of got that stacked spine, closing your eyes when you're ready and getting comfortable, hands either in the lap or on your knees. And we'll just take a few deep breaths to ground ourselves. So breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in the biggest breath you've taken all day. A nice big breath all the way from the belly. Feel your chest swell, your heart swell. And then let it go. And as you're sitting here, feeling the stability of the earth beneath you, feeling the air around you, maybe the sounds of nature outside, or the sounds of city, the sounds of your family. Sit here and call to mind the abundance of your life. Friends and family who have to support you. The place where you live that keeps you warm and dry. The food that you consume, the people you interact with, the work you go to. The abundance that all exists around you. Feel that support you as well, lift you up, envelop you. And breathe into that abundance. Let it grow your heart. Acknowledge all that you have and all that it took to get here as well. And from this place where you currently sit, from this place of abundance, think about the next step of the journey. From this place, this heart-filled place, this energized place, what next do you want to bring to your life? Feel that vision pull you forward, energize you, grow that heart, spread that chest a bit more. And know that you have this base, you have this connection, the connection to Mother Earth, to the ground, the connection to those around you, the connection to the woman also listening to this call and supporting you. And know that whatever next step you want comes from this place of abundance, comes from this place of support, and comes from this place of groundedness. Let's take another 3 deep breaths, really embodying this abundance and groundedness. So breathing in, grow that chest, and breathing out. Number 2, breathe in and breathe out. And last breath, just really feel this energy, this vitality, this opportunity. Fill your whole body. Hold it and feel it grow. And let it release. And then when you're ready, slowly opening your eyes. And coming back to where we are. But where we are is in this place, as I said, of a wonderful, I guess from this connected place comes this wonderful view of what is possible. And from this connected place is also acknowledging what is wonderful right here, right? So it's not this making time to dream. It is taking that step forward. It is acknowledging what might be, but it's also coming from a place of really a beauty of where we are now. That might be an amazing place. We might feel full of vitality. We might be feeling sick, but we're still here, right? This life is precious and we are here enjoying it. So making time to dream is actually acknowledging the current moment as well as looking forward. Because if we're always looking forward, we can't really be here now. So it's really important that we acknowledge the abundance that exists around us. And I feel that sometimes this kind of, when I was thinking about like taking time to dream, I was really aware of, it almost seems like a luxury, right? So often we are busy living life, which is really fun. It's very enjoyable to be in the moment and enjoying it. But there's also a beauty of acknowledging what next. Because sometimes if we're going through mindlessly through our life, we're just taking the next step and not really having the intention of where we want to end up. Or not even where we want to end up, what that next step is going to be, the intention of that next movement, whether that is something, a new hobby we want to take on, or a new role, or a new relationship, or just making time for ourselves, whatever that kind of dream is. If we don't make actually the time to think about it, that next step becomes a very mindless step rather than an intentional step. So for me, that's one thing I really want to share about making time to dream, is it might feel like a luxury, but also it helps us with that real forward movement in a way that serves us, that sits with what's important to us, and not necessarily that just moving because everyone else is moving in that direction. So that time to dream becomes a personal thing. It's like, what's important to me here, rather than just doing the next thing. And actually, one thing I've got to look at my phone here, because Lee shared a few comments with me this morning that I really want to share as well, regarding the preciousness of life. What's one thing that she was hoping to be able to share on her talk was that life is precious. Life can be very short. We don't know how long we're going to be on this beautiful planet. So it's making the most of our opportunities while we're here. And that's kind of why it's important to take time to dream, because it's, again, with an intention of the next step or what we want from our time here, rather than just, all of a sudden our time is up and we haven't really got to where we wanted to, or made the impact we want to make, or share with the people we wanted to share with, or told the people we love that we love them. So it's about, by making this time, we can actually go and do what we need to do in this world while we're here, while we're lucky enough to be on this planet, then making the time to do that. So let me just share a few words that she shared with me this morning. She said this is what she's felt strongly these past few days, is that we need to make meaningful use of our life and time, and preciousness of having all our senses and energy to do the things we dream about. Without the energy and momentum, we cannot accomplish much. So we need to look after ourselves and not take for granted that we have so many luxuries and good fortune. That's really important to, again, acknowledge the abundance that exists around us. There are many moments here, which she means in Kathmandu, in the simple environment where people live quite simply, and there's so much joy with simple interactions and always friendly smiles. Even though people often don't speak the same language, there is a lot of kindness in simple interactions. And simple kindnesses in everyday life is something that we can really appreciate, and it fuels us and enriches our lives all the time. So again, it's acknowledging the abundance we have, but also taking the time to have those interactions and share with it. We need to stay mindful and attentive to recognize and appreciate these small gestures, and in turn, share it with others. So we create those positive interactions and positive mind states. Life is short, and as much as we can, we need to create a positive and happy mind state. So dream, but also harness those dreams if they mean a lot to you, and give it energy to create a beautiful, happy space for yourself and for others. We all depend on each other. We are all connected. So that was the message from Lee this morning, which was a different way than I was looking at the dreaming. And so I thank her for that, because it is that kind of the beauty of our lives, the beauty of the interactions, and acknowledging that abundance that then allows us to step forward. And actually, maybe it's not even step forward, maybe it's just having more of those beautiful interactions. Maybe that is the dream, is that every interaction we have is one of love and connection and kindness. That's a pretty beautiful dream. So what I'd love to do now is to make some time for some journaling. And if you're not a writer, then draw your answers, draw the vision. I'm just going to offer a number of questions to you and take time to see what comes up, what comes up from this connected, abundant space, not from this head that sometimes churns. So maybe we'll take a few deep breaths again together before you start writing, so that it's coming from a place of connection, of heart. So let's just do that. Let's just take a big breath in and out through the mouth. Another deep breath in and out. And one more. And so here we are to think about times to dream. First question is, what are the actions or interactions that spark joy for you? What are the things that bring abundance into your life? How do you want to feel at the end of the day? What's the feeling that you want to go to bed being fueled by? If you knew you couldn't and wouldn't fail, what would you try? What makes you smile? What is possible for you? I want my legacy to be. Complete that sentence. I want my legacy to be. If there's one thing I want to do or try in the coming 12 months, what is it? If there's one thing you want to do or try in the coming months, name it. I want to be known as. So once I leave this planet, what do I want to be known as? What words would people use to talk about me? In 10 years' time, what's my vision? Where would I be living? What would I be doing with my days? How would I be? Where would I be earning my money? Where would I be sharing with others? Where would I be? What would I be seeing? What would I be a part of? That's a big one. So again, the vision for 10 years, just whatever comes up. This is not goal setting, this is dreaming. And I think there's a difference for that, right? This is just let the ideas come. You're not going to be held accountable to this. Your dream, your vision for 10 years. Where do you want to be living? Who do you want to be spending time with? What do you want to be a part of? When you look out your window, what are you seeing? When you go to work or the way you earn money, what does that look like? What does that feel like? Who are you with? Again, doesn't have to be specific here. If there's feelings that are coming up for you, if there's certain visions, draw it, write it down, share it. And bringing to mind all that we've just written about or drawn about or thought about, maybe you've just been sitting there embodying this. The dream for the next year or the dream for the next 10 years or the possibilities that exist within that. Just sit with that feeling. Internalize that. I won't say vision, but internalize that possibility. If there are any other kind of reminders that have come to you right now about what you want to remember from those few questions, that this little time, this 5 minutes we've had of dreaming and journaling, write those down now as well. And I'm not sure if anyone wants to share what came up for them. But just notice that was just 5 minutes of time to connect. 5 minutes we had of just letting the heart pour forth and seeing what came out. 5 minutes to dream. And so making time to dream doesn't necessarily need to be a cumbersome process. It's not a full day review. It's not a goal planning and action planning process. Time to dream is that creative fuel, a spark that sometimes comes that just, if you don't make time for it, just sometimes never appears. And so I guess I want to share something with you as well about, obviously we've had these 5 minutes together and we're going to have this half-hour reconnection call, and obviously you can come back to this recording whenever you want, but other ways that you can make time for dreaming. So one thing I did when I lived in London is I had a thing called a cafe clarity date. So once a week I would go to a different cafe in London. So I was in a different physical space. I was usually in a different part of town, different people, not always different food. I would always usually have a cup of tea and some kind of baked good. But there's a different experience that you're having around you. The sounds around you are different. And that I found a wonderful place to dream. I might take my computer and I might have my cell phone, but it was not a place that I was just looking at things. It was a place I was just sitting and observing, and then just kind of seeing what came up. So that's something I offer to you, is a cafe clarity date. And maybe it's not a cafe, maybe it's a park, maybe it's a restaurant, but a place where you just be and allow those possibilities, those sparks, those dreams, that creativity to come forth. Journaling, just what we've done now, making time to ask yourself a few questions, whether that's once a week, once a day, once a month, that time to kind of just see what comes forth. I also find that walks in nature are wonderful times for me to really connect to some bigger dreams. So usually it's when I'm going solo, so I'm not talking to someone else, it's quiet. I don't usually have headphones in, so I'm not listening to music. And it's just me going for a walk, and then sometimes those ideas start bubbling up, and you can kind of see what comes forth from that. Or cycles in nature, it doesn't have to be walks, whatever it is, rollerblading in nature, whatever the thing is. And maybe it's not nature, but it's time that you're out and about and not enacting a activity, you are just being. One thing I actually wrote about recently on the Finding Our Way website was, again, just observing. I was talking about when I travel a lot, I just used to sit in cafes and watch. So there's actually something quite wonderful about sitting with a cup of tea and just looking out your window with no other purpose in mind. And again, allowing that time for ideas to come forth. The other thing I found personally is car rides with my partner. Somehow when we're driving from A to B, and I'm talking long, like not just around the corner, like an hour or 2 hours, we start dreaming together. We start talking about possibilities. So maybe there's ways that you and your partner can share that too, that allows you to dream together. So you are creating something together. I don't know if anyone has any other ideas, but obviously, welcome. Please share them now, or share them in a message to us. I'd love to think about ways that we can be sharing and embodying and making time for the streaming. So it's not just a once a year yearly review process, but a regular engaging with what is possible and what we want and how we're going to go get it. And I think with that, it's a really important to reconnect to those dreams regularly, right? Rather than just, well, we've done it today and I'll look at it in 3 months' time. So whether that is just regular check-ins, like that vision I have for what I want, is that still important to me? And if it is, what am I doing about it? How am I moving forward on this? So it's not just always this vast distance idea of something, but actually you are enacting actions to take you forward. And I think that's kind of what Lee was saying in a lot of her comments is, we have this abundance, we have this precious time. And so with that, how are we looking after ourselves and fueling ourselves so that we can be bringing these dreams to life? So it's looking after ourselves and enacting these dreams, not just dreaming these dreams, and really making the most of our time on this earth together. So half an hour has gone incredibly fast, as it always does, even just with me speaking. So I hope that has been kind of a beneficial process, a time for you to think about what is possible for you, to think about what is important to you, to connect to a bigger vision about what you want to do. I was going to say do in this world, but also be in this world. Like, how are you showing up and how are you sharing everything that is uniquely you, and making the most of these moments that we have on this planet. So I'm just going to draw a card here to finish us off, and we'll do a little short meditation to finish off. And maybe after listening to this call, you need to go for a walk, or you need to make time to write down more in your journal. So please do that. Make the time. This is, time is precious, but maybe it's important that you sit here for another 10 minutes and really put some flesh on the bones of that vision that just came to you. And maybe it's important that next week you do the same thing. So for those of you who haven't been a part of Finding Your Way, we have all our cards that are based on our principles of clarity, energy, action, and integration. And this week I've got all 4 sets of cards together. So who knows what will come forth and what we need to be reminded of as we take time to dream. That's an interesting one. It's a energy one, expansion. And actually, that was just one thing I was talking about this morning on a wonderful call I was having with a group of women, that was my word for the coming year. So it's always amazing how these things come up. So where's the expansion in your dream? What more can you bring to who you are? What more can you bring to those relationships around you? What more can you bring to your community? How can you expand your universe and expand your dream? So take that word there. And we will just finish off with a few breaths and meditation. So thank you all for sharing your time with us. Thank you again for making time for yourself. And we look forward to seeing you next month, so March, for our next reconnection call. So just finish off together. So closing your eyes again, sitting up straight. And once again, feel yourself being held, being supported. Acknowledge all that has come to allow you to be here today. And also feel fueled by that dream of what is yet to come. Breathe life, breathe energy into your dreams. Take a big breath in. Feel that possibility, the dreams being enriched by this breath. As you breathe in again, feel you being enriched by your dreams. Feel you being fueled by your dreams. Feel that heart grow bigger, the connection to others grow stronger. Feel those dreams being brought to life. They aren't ideas, they are reality. You just need to step into them. You just need to enact them. You are all that you need to be, and those dreams are all within you and ready to be brought to life. One big breath in. Fuel yourself and fuel your dreams and feel yourself grow. And then breathe out. So may you go forth with love, with kindness, with compassion, with connection, with knowing that we all are here to support you as you bring your dreams to life. And if you need anything from us, please call out, please share, and go forth. Make time to dream and make time for it to become a reality. All the best until next month. See you later.